Spoiler warning for the 2016 Noblesse OVA and episodes 1 to 4 of the 2020 Noblesse series, all throughout this video. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello everybody, my name's Link, here to talk about my first impressions on a fall 2020 anime. Rizal awakens from his 820-year slumber. He holds the special title of Noblesse, a pure-blooded noble and protector of all other nobles. In an attempt to protect Rizal, his servant Frankenstein enrolls him at Iran High School, where Rizal learns the simple quotidian routines of the human world through his classmates. However, the Union, a secret society plotting to take over the world, dispatches modified humans and gradually encroaches on Rizal's life, causing him to wield his mighty power to protect those around him. After 820 years of intrigue, the secrets behind his slumbers are finally revealed, and Rizal's absolute protection as the Noblesse begins. Also, quick side note, I don't know how to actually pronounce that word, so I'm not sure if it's like noblesse or noblesse, but I'm going off from the Japanese katakana that's saying noblesse, so I'm going with that for here. Ever since I watched that God Tier OVA from 2016, Noblesse has been living in my mind rent free. And after taking 4 years to follow up on that single episode special that took the world by storm, I can say with all certainty that I was ready to jump at full force for a story to give me more of that hot vampire man. I did wonder where they would be picking up the series, since Rai's hair got shorter compared to his full on mullet. And you know that changing a character's hair is akin to them going through a long passage of time? And I didn't know any better because I haven't read the source material at all. I had several ideas run in my head, like maybe there was a big time skip after what happened in the first arc, or maybe the OVA is actually a chunk of the middle of the stories and the series is starting at the very beginning. But nah, it was none of those. Just really a character design change based on the 1 second glance I gave to Google search. And while we're on the topic, watching the 2016 OVA is a must. They pick up immediately after that. I was expecting them to have like even a shadow of a reminder for anyone new to the series. While it wasn't so much of a problem for me because I did rewatch the OVA about a dozen times because that's just how cool it is, I can't say much for the others. And with how much of an impression Rai left, I was really excited for the series to expand on his character and what the story would want to do with such an OP unit. But it looks like the series is more interested in exploring and expanding their side characters and their world, which isn't all that bad. It's in the same vein as what Jujutsu Kaisen is doing. And I do think it falls into the same pitfalls of gearing up for a long run kind of story, so a good chunk of the beginning episodes feel like exposition. It does lend itself for more things to happen in the story. Because if you think about it, is there really anything left for Rai to improve upon since he's one of the oldest and most powerful beings in the story so far? Except for how to work electronics. Though that does fall into the dilemma of being boring if the characters they want to focus on were also boring. Like, so far, I don't particularly mind how this silver looking dude is progressing. It's always cute watching a troubled and distant man who thinks he doesn't deserve happiness live a normal life. And not only that, he's actually really popular with others. But also, the series is going through lengths just to show how he's actually really weak in comparison to the other supernaturals they're fighting, as well as that infuriating stubbornness to take everything on by himself. It's a bit aggravating. I know there's no way for him to know, but for me as the viewer, it's a bit exasperating knowing that Rai is literally right there. He can just be gone, thought all of these ugly bastards and be done with it. And he's actually really attached to his characters as well. But the other characters actively try to not get him involved. It's not even the funny situational kind like what happens in One Punch Man, where he's always late or he's off doing groceries or something. Rai has always been just there vibing, drinking his tea. And the only reason he's not moving is because no one would tell him anything. Yes, I know, they had a whole message about how the world has grown past the need for the noblesse. But also, dude, it's not wrong to ask for help. Then there's those two who I honestly have no opinion on just yet. They're kind of just there. Regis at least has some sort of personality, even if it's him being a brat. Well, I'm still struggling to know what Seda does, though I do think they might expand on her character based on her reaction at the end of episode 4. Also, at the moment, I do find it funny that that one redhead has basically been the cause of all their troubles and conflicts so far. But also, that's going to get old real fast. I hope they change it up even after they finish this arcs with the mercenary looking dudes from the Union. And speaking of which, it's not really a gripe, but I do find it hilarious that you can tell almost immediately which enemies are going to live to join the good guys and which are going to be DEAD dead. I still hold on to my expectations that the series will expand more on Rai, his escapades, and who he really is ever since watching the OVA. I mean, come on. The most the man has done throughout 1 hour of content is eat his noodles. And don't get me wrong, the Gap Moa is strong with this one. And I can honestly watch an entire series of this old vampire pretty boy learning how modern technologies and wonders work because those are one of my most favorite tropes. If only the series hasn't promised me more plot and development to happen. The only thing I heard about this anime's source material is that it's ridiculously long for a manhwa. And that makes me sweat a little bit because that means even with 24 episodes, then the anime will barely be scratching the surface of what the story has to offer, much less the 12 episodes that we're getting. I hope it doesn't become one of those long-running series that fizzles out its hype before it even gets to the good part. Because this is one of the series I was actually hyped before the first episode even dropped. Also, one more thing! It fucks me up that Rai isn't a vampire. Like they have never called him a vampire even though he looks like that and controls blood. And that's it for this one, everybody. Don't be shy to tell me what y'all think of the series down in the comments below. You can check out my playlist for more of my first impressions of the fall 2020 anime. Or, you can also check out my other series where I review and recommend anime you might not have heard of. Are they hidden gems, or do they deserve to fall into obscurity? Let's find out together! And as always, if you liked the video, don't forget to leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing for all things weeb and anime. Bye bye!